Oh, copy.
Good evening, baseball fans. Welcome to Minuteman Regional Vocational High School for game number 3 of the Intercity League semifinals between the number 4 seed Middlesex Expos and the number 1 seed Lexington Blue Sox. This is game number 3 of a 5-game series in which our series is tied 1 game apiece. To get us started with the festivities this evening, let us meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Middlesex Expos. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 2, Ryan Patron. Batting second in center field, number 1, Idelson Taveras. Batting third, playing right, number 22, John Batista. Batting cleanup, starting in left field, number 23, Leon Paulino. Batting fifth, the extra hitter, number 44, Eduardo Soto. Batting sixth, pitching and hitting for himself, number 8, Ryan Cloutier. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 3, Jose Paulino. Batting eighth, starting at second base, number 11, Michael Olivero. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 42, Josh Bone. And batting 10th and catching, wearing number 0, Lucas Rincon. The Expos are led by manager Brandon Anderson. And now the starting lineup for tonight's home team, the 16-time defending ICL champion, Lexington Blue Sox.
You're not the defending champs, does he? All right, go, just to do the lines.
Leading off for the Blue Sox in right field, number 53, Jake McElroy. Batting second, the third baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez. Batting third, the extra hitter, number 16, Ben Leonard. Batting fourth and DHing, number 25, Julian Alvarez. Batting fifth, starting in left field, number 22, Dom Gabardi. Batting sixth, starting in center field, number 33, Nick Anderson. Batting seventh, starting at first base, number 21, Josue Feliciano. Batting eighth, starting at second base, number 4, Dylan Walsh. Batting ninth, starting at shortstop, number 11, Charlie Walsh. Batting 10th and catching for the Blue Sox, number 7, Max Dushny. And on the mound tonight for the Blue Sox, getting the start, number 40, Chris Wannett. Fans, we ask for you to remain aware for foul balls and any other objects that can be put out of play. Additionally, we ask that you stick to the tenets of sportsmanship when cheering on your team. We default to the umpiring crew on any and all ejection decisions, and their decision is final. Without further ado, gentlemen, we have a game 3 to play. Mr. Umpires, the diamond is yours. Let's play ball.
Brand new, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because like, I literally cannot charge this right now because of something.
Is it like a temperature thing? Or a moisture thing?
Foreign object, is essentially thing. All right, so we just have to skip that, unfortunately.
I hear you.
One less. Skies open up, will be one less thing to worry about. And we pack up shop. And as I said, win, not if.
All right, we're gonna get started on time.
Shocker, you know.
Love to see it. That's 701. Ain't bad.
Oh. Yeah, no. That was just my tablet. It's okay. You should still be good.
Copy music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but y'all don't want my stupid in stereo. It's going to be a little bit of a stripped-down edition of Blue Sox Baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Sam Feely here with you from Minuteman High School in Lexington, Mass. Take 2, I guess, trying to get Game 3 of this best of 5 Intercity League semifinal in its entirety. The Blue Sox and the Expos tied at a game apiece and a run apiece, in fact. Yeah, funny how that works. And I mean, and when you add in, 16 innings, 2 runs, 25 innings, 32 innings between these two teams, 7 runs. It has been that tightly contested. Tried to play last night at LHS. Unfortunately, Mother Nature did not oblige. LHS is certainly much more of a hitter's park rather than here or at Eastie. But what are you supposed to do, right?
On the mound for the Blue Sox is number 40, Chris Wonnett. And leading off for the Expos, the shortstop, number 2, Ryan Patrone.
So Ryan Patrone is going to lead things off for the Expos. Again, I apologies to all who who tuned in to hear the announcer, but I'm a little short on brain cells tonight. I don't know. Haven't even written down all the entire starting line, but Chris Wan is going to get the start for the Blue Sox, and he delivers strike 1 at 7:03. We are underway. Didn't get the official word that last night's game was postponed until 8:10, actually. We intentionally did not start the stream until we knew for sure if we'd be playing, as that's fouled off. The count will be 0-2. But but it was just coming down so hard that, I'm just waiting for the word, and finally we got it, and here we are, Game 3 tonight. Game 4 will also be here Sunday, and Patrone is rung up on a called third strike to begin the ball game.
Now batting for the Expos, the center fielder, number 1, Idelson Taveras.
Patrone with a couple of looks back to the Blue Sox dugout as he heads back to his. And here's the center fielder, Idelson Taveras. Sometimes you got to adjust your capabilities and your expectations to the weather's popped up. Not sure if the clouds and the lack of lights being on yet will affect anything, but a fly ball into center. Nick Anderson makes the catch so quickly, 2 down for Wonnett.
The right fielder, number 22, John Batista.
Here's John Batista. 4 pitches, 2 outs, and we'll see if Batista can stretch things out a little bit here, but you never want to see a starter for either of these teams get into a groove early. Fouled off the other way, and that'll be strike 1 to Batista. The rain out and the win in Game 2 buy the Expos a little bit of time to get some more rest for their top 2 starters. As that misses for ball 1, 1-1. Their top 2 starters, Cespedes and Shaw. Cespedes, who pitched 2 no-hitters in the span of his final 3 starts in the regular season, then got the win over Stoneham in the wild card game that swung on and missed 1-2. And Shaw, who pitched all 7 2/3 of Game 1, and an unearned run was the difference in that one. So it's imperative. I would call this maybe more of a must-win for the Blue Sox than the Expos, because the Expos win this one, that's a tough task. That is on the outside corner for strike 3 call, but Wonnett himself is a tough task. 2 backwards Ks in the top of the first. Half inning in the books, Expos nothing, Blue Sox coming up.
Still scoreless. Due up for the Blue Sox, Jake McElroy, Anderson Jimenez, and Ben Leonard.
Now, it's not like Shaw and Cespedes are unhittable, because Cespedes did, got a little roughed up there in the win against the Sabres, but in the end, the Expos were too much for Stoneham. So it remains to be seen how things will play out in the end once we get to Game 4 Sunday, and if necessary, decisive Game 5 Monday, with the winner to face the Andre Chiefs, who swept the Melrose Americans in 3 really, in the end, not very competitive games. Those were some pretty decisive Chiefs victories in those 3 wins over the Melrose Americans. So Ryan Cloutier, I won't belabor the point about anymore about the majority of the innings for the Expos this season being thrown by Shaw and Cespedes. Ryan Cloutier, who has been the DH, has been the DH the last couple of games. During Game 1, he got hit twice and nearly got hit a third time, and he was quite upset at that fact. And earlier today, during warm-ups, we saw him with basically a wrap on his knee, and he may be ailing, but Cloutier is a very good pitcher in addition to being a very good hitter. And the Expos are going to need all the length they can get out of him and whoever else is available, because I doubt you're going to get Shaw on 2 days rest or Cespedes on 3 days rest tonight in an emergency. But, of course, the series being 1-1 rather than 2-0 Blue Sox at least works in the Expos' favor in that regard. So here we go to the bottom of the first, and Jake McElroy will lead things off for the Blue Sox. First pitch from Cloutier is downstairs for ball one. It'll be interesting to see how the knee injury affects Cloutier on the mound as opposed to just at the plate. Cloutier is in the lineup as the pitcher and DH, so Ohtani rule in effect, as in when he comes off the mound, he can still bat as the DH. Another ball to McElroy, and the count is 2-0 to Jake. Cloutier winds and delivers, and that'll be low for ball 3-0. Cloutier, Jimenez, and Alvarez due up here in the bottom of the first for, Leonard. And if anyone gets on Alvarez here in the bottom of the first, that's a strike. 3-1 is the count to McElroy. You complete me, Chris. Oh. 3-2. Cloutier trying to come back from 3-0 down and misses down away. Ball 4. Leadoff walk for the Blue Sox. Oh, come on. I do have batteries if you need them.
The third baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
Andy J is... Chris, write it backwards like Andy on Woody's shoe in the first Toy Story movie. Jimenez gets a bunt down, but it goes foul for strike one. Ben Len, Jules. Too bad his last name isn't Santana, right? 0-1 is the count to Jimenez. Mm-hmm. Throw back to first and back safely is McElroy. I remember you mentioned that the Blue Sox, Bruce just reminded me of the 1-0 games by the Expos and the Blue Sox. Not only the first time the Blue Sox had ever done that, first time since 2006. The first time the Blue Sox done that in the postseason, did it once in the regular season, but the first time ever in the postseason for any two teams to play back-to-back. A strikeout? Yeah, it was. Okay, so, well, after all that, one down. The first time in the ICL postseason since 2006 that any teams had played back-to-back 1-0 games. That was games 1 and 2. Game 3 rained out yesterday, now being played tonight. So Jimenez strikes out, but McElroy gets to second. It was a sack. Okay, I didn't see that. All right. Thank you. Too much going on here. 0-1 is a count to Leonard. I'm sorry, folks. Cloutier comes set, looking at second. Throw back to second, not in time, and McElroy didn't get the news from the dugout until it was almost too late. Sometimes that's what you got to do to get the offense moving. I mean, you can only watch so many pitchers duels before you want to see some dingers. Do you want to know? Do you want to know the ugly truth, or do you want to see me hit some dingers? Oof! Late on a breaking ball. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, hello. We got a friend on the camera. Was not expecting that. Bye. Why, everything's just out of whack. Chopper to the left side. That'll freeze the runner. Throw to first. Pull the runner off the bag. Pull the first base off the bag, rather. So everybody's safe. And the delay there to make sure the runner didn't break for third might have cost him.
The designated hitter, number 25, Julian Alvarez.
Just cannot get out of my own way, huh? E5 as the error comes on the throw. And here is Jules with first and second and one down. Glad our friend got out of the way before that play, huh? Yeah, you're not allowed to touch him. If I was a mantis. Just trying to move the camera a little bit, just to nudge him a bit. I don't know. One and one. His wife's going to be so pissed when he gets home. Get it? That is it. Not if you paid attention in science class in grade school, though. 2 and 1. You people mean the world to me. Two and 2 as that's fouled off. And now I got to do the computer protect again. Need to have like a whole tunnel like when the NFL officials look at replay or something. Foul tip into the mid of ring cone for strike 3.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the left fielder, number 22, Dom Gabardi.
2 down, and here's Gabardi to try and cash in. Fastball in there for strike 1. Walk by McElroy. Leonard reaches on an error, but in between. Jimenez laying down the sack bunt, and Jules getting called out on strikes. Gabardi behind 0-1, trying to cash in. Give the Blue Sox an early lead. Breaking ball, nope. 1-1. Left field, I think, is actually kind of average depth. It just feels shorter when you see the cavernous center in right field.
So I did my measure map.
Mm-hmm.
331 down the line and right, 310 down the line. And then it gets crazy.
It's polo grounds out there. So it's actually it's actually closer down.
331 to right, 310.
No, I know, but it's closer down the right field line than I thought it was. Yeah, so that gets away from Rincon to third on the play goes McElroy. So runners at the corners, 3-1 is a count, 2 down. No thought to advance there from Leonard. Oh, a feeble swing and a miss. Well, Leonard can get a head start on this next pitch with Nick Anderson due up next. In the dirt for ball four, and it gets between Rico's wickets and in to score on the wild pitch is McElroy. When runs have been at a premium, getting one in the first inning feels like 10. Blue Sox got out to a 3-0 lead against the Expos last Thursday in the regular season game here, and Anderson not happy with that strike call. It's 0-1. Yeah, that breaking ball is going to be the thing that gets him out of Dodge tonight when he needs it. That one, though, goes outside. 1-1. Curveball against lefty. Like a breaking ball coming towards lefties, generally not a great idea, but we can clip the outside corner like that and just demoralize lefties. It can do wonders for you. However, that one's in the dirt, 2-1. Yep. Yeah, and also with such a cavernous outfield, you know, to get one in the gaps, and with his speed too, it will. Well, again, try to let it travel, but that one got too far inside. Should have just let that one go, unfortunately, and it's 2-2 as opposed to 3-1. Sway's due up next. Run scoring on a wild pitch on the second walk of the inning. There's been no hits yet this inning. 2 walks and an error. A sack and a couple wild pitches, actually, have brought home McElroy. Anderson lets that one go, and now both runners can be off with the next pitch, and Cloutier. I don't think Cloutier is necessarily mad at the ball call, just like, how did he not? Yeah, I know, right? Well, let's see what happens here. 3-2, runners will go. Ball 4. Third walk of the inning for Cloutier. The bases are loaded for the veteran, Josue Feliciano.
The first baseman, number 21, Josue Feliciano.
Not sure if we've got another squeeze play in the works here for Sway, but he, in 5 games this season, batted .250, .438, .500 his slash line with one homer, 3 ribbies, and 4 walks to 2 strikeouts. And before anything happens, a visit at the mound. Oh yeah, absolutely. And obviously his leadership cannot be overstated. That can always be a huge deciding factor in tight games. Sway, dating back to 2001 in the MABL, a career .338 hitter, grounds this one to the right side. Second baseman has it on to first, and that'll do it. 1 run, no hits, 1 error, 3 left. But hey, the Blue Sox get an early lead, 1-0 after 1.
1. The Middlesex Expos, 0. Due up for the Expos, 4, 5, and 6 on the lineup card. Paulino, Soto, and Cloutier.
Early run.
Yeah.
Sam, have you tried the tablet, or because I'm cool with it. I was wondering what your thoughts were.
I've shut it off.
Okay, copy that. Copy that.
Just I'm not gonna bother. Like I don't.
I'm with you.
I don't need anything else trying to my stress. You know?
Leon Paulino, Eduardo Soto. One run on no hits, 1 error, 3 runs. That's classic Blue Sox inning. And the 3 left on base.
I mean, I would say it's emblematic of this series, anyways. But it's not like hits have been impossible to come by. why. It's just like,
Well, I'm just saying, for me, it feels like even games that say we win like 8-3, we're leaving like 14 LOD by the end of the game. It's like, and I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what it feels like from a layman's perspective.
Yeah, there you go. I just don't think runners left on base is, you know, an infallible metric of anything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Leading off the top of the second for the Expos, left fielder, number 25, Leon Paulino.
Well, you heard our conversation maybe on the ambient mic about, you know, leaving runners on base. You know, it can, you know, be demoralizing, obviously, in close games, but sometimes, you know, in some of the blowouts that the Blue Sox have had this season, it's popped up in a left center, and there's Nick Anderson for out number 1. My point, you know, about, you know, runners being left on base not being an infallible metric. You really got to take the individual games into context. Like if you have a game like the one against the base where the Blue Sox won 20-0, like, okay, who cares? You know, you still won 20-0. It's the closer games. Like the 1- and 2-run games, whether you win or lose, this is flared into left field, and that will be caught on line for out number 2. Soto retired.
Now batting the pitcher, number 8, Ryan Cloutier.
So Paulino and Soto retired in short order, and here's Cloutier. You know, it's not really useful metric as in terms of Cloutier gets a little bit of revenge with a 2-out base hit. It's a useful metric in closer games, whether you win or lose. Not something to pay attention to in the 20-0 games.
Now batting for the Expos, the first baseman, number 3, Jose Paulino.
And, you know, it can also be a double-edged sword because in those 20-0 games, as Jose Paulino comes to the plate, you know, hey, maybe you didn't leave anyone on base, but, you know, you just cleared the bases with every hit. As that gets into center field, back-to-back 2-out singles for the Expos as they try to pull even. And also the lights have just come on, so maybe that'll be a factor. I don't know.
Now batting for the Expos, the second baseman, number 11, Michael Oliveira.
As far as I'm concerned, you know, the things that will be the death of the Blue Sox if they don't climb back to the top of the mountain, as I've said before, are being unable to get clean innings and putting away batters with 2 strikes. Like, look at this. Into right center field, 3 straight 2-out hits. Cloutier's being waved around third. Here comes the throw to third, and he is safe. Sammy Steed says he's safe. The tying run scores. 3 straight 2-out hits. That's an important safe call, too, because if he's out, if Paulino's out, I don't know if that run scores. The inning continues, and now the go-ahead run's 90 feet away. Juanet looking at first. He's got to mix it up here, seriously. Well, oof, I don't know. That's a pitch you really want as a pitcher in this situation, but he didn't get it. Didn't get the call. It's 1-0 to Josh Bone. Into left field. Do I hear 4 straight? I hear a 3-run home run for Josh Bone.
That is a 3-run home run for Josh Bone. The Expos lead the game 4-1.
4 straight hits after the first 2 batters were retired on, 3 pitches? And the Expos take the lead 4-1. This game and maybe this series has been turned upside down.
The catcher,
Ball one. All of this started right after the lights came on, too. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. I don't know if the fact that these are pearls means that, like, these are brand new baseballs. I heard Mark Leary talking to the umpires before the game, but 2-1 is the count. Yeah, but like, you know, these are still brand new baseballs. I don't know if that is messing with Wanted at all. I don't know if it's messing with Cloutier, but obviously he got out of the inning without allowing any hits. Yeah, no, it didn't even sound hit that hard as that swung on and missed for strike three. But again, it is only 3:10 down the line, and the Expos score 4 runs on 4 hits, all with 2 outs, and they lead 4-1 after a buck and a half.
Due up for the Blue Sox, Dylan Walsh, Charlie Walsh, and Max Dushny.
Might be one of those games tonight. Let's see how they answer.
Nope. I gotta trade this one in anyways. I mean, it's already paid off.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning, Blue Sox second baseman, number 4, Dylan Walsh.
In one inning, the Middlesex Expos have exceeded their run total against the Blue Sox from the previous 4 games combined. Here's a little bloop. Cloutier's got it. Underhand to first. Quickly, 1 up, 1 down. Dylan Walsh is retired. And that inning, I know, right? All like, the Expos were not wasting any time. They're not wasting any time, even in the first 2 batters going down so quickly. Swinging early in the count and taking advantage of Chris Wan. They clear. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was a sinking liner too. Gabardi was able to run it down, but the Blue Sox were not that lucky, nearly that lucky. The rest of the inning, got Chris. All right, 1-1. And the Blue Sox playing from behind. Two and 1. They have not played from behind as deep as this very much this season. 2-2 is the count. Ground, Cloutier. 2 down. Hey, when you're hot, you're hot.
Now batting for the Blue Sox,
Down and away for ball one to Dush. The Walshes retired back-to-back to begin this inning. Now Dush will have to try and keep the line moving, but he swings and misses, and it's 1-1. The largest deficit that the Blue Sox have overcome this season is 3. That was against the Lexington Bulldogs on July 29th at a time when the Bulldogs playoffs had essentially begun. They were still in the fight for the wild card spot, the last wild card spot. But yeah, the Bulldogs were up 3-0 after half an inning. The Blue Sox reversed it with a 4-run bottom of the second and hung on to win 6-4. But the Expos are a much different monster than the Bulldogs. Credit to the Bulldogs for fighting until the very end, but the Sabres held them off for the second wild card. But the Expos then beating the Sabres, and then a couple of tightly contested ball games against the Blue Sox. But now breaking it open in the top half this second inning. And now in the bottom of the second, 2 strikes to Dush. Comes up empty for strike 3, and the Blue Sox are retired in order. 4-1 Expos after 2.
We are into the top of the third inning. The Middlesex Expos 4, the Lexington Blue Sox 1. Due up the top of the order for Middlesex, Patron, Tavares, and Batista. Leading off the top of the third for the Expos, the shortstop, number 2, Ryan Patron.
Ryan Petroni to lead things off here in the top of the third, and it is in fact the top 3 of the batting order for the Expos, who just delivered a haymaker in the top of the second and hoping to add on here with the top of the order. And that is down the right field line, but that is a foul ball for strike 1. Chris wanted back out there, and in a lot of games this season, we have seen games decided by pitchers who otherwise have pretty good games. Those games can be decided by just one bad inning, and the Blue Sox are hoping that this is not one of those games. Jack Beauchene warming up the Blue Sox bullpen as Petroni fouls this one in off and sway. Looking for it, and he's got it for out number 1. Against the fence next to the Expos dugout, and Petroni is out. No, but I think that's enough room. I don't know, is there enough room down in foul territory that way at LHS? Well, the thing about LHS is that, we're probably going to be playing a lot more games here next year with the constructions I've mentioned. That's foul tip into Dush's mitt for strike 1 by Adelson Tavares. Juan was throwing mostly fastballs in that top of the second, wasn't he? It wasn't a whole lot of off-speed stuff, so maybe he can find some rhythm there. But that too. So just action happens so fast. if you're a pitcher and your offense just got you an early lead and you want to, control the tempo, but the Expos were ready. Like, seriously. Like, in those situations, we'd see batters the last couple of games call time to hello, read the top line. We'd see batters call time to, try and get the pitchers out of their rhythm, but Juanet was at the exact pace the Expos wanted to be, apparently, and now... Yep. One and two to Taveras with Batista due up next. Driven into right field towards the corner, and that is going to one-hop the wall for a ground rule double. A bullet off the bat, one hops the wall into the woods beyond right field, and a runner in scoring position for John Batista. And here comes Pat McGowan.
Now batting for the Expos, the right fielder, number 22, John Batista.
Well, John Batista, yeah, I know, right? He's been more or less neutralized this series, but don't take that for granted, especially with a free 10 down the line. Up and in for ball one. Yeah, and I wouldn't say that Juanet necessarily throws that much slower than either Draper or O'Rourke, but I guess, I mean, O'Rourke is the former major leaguer of the three, but 2-1. I mean, his fastball had to play if he was gonna make it there. But unfortunately, as the series progressed, Taveras, I guess, got more comfortable and absolute bullet just now, and now Batista with a pop up into foul territory. Sway lost it for a moment, back into foul territory and able to make the catch. I know, right? Yeah, we can. Not sure if you can see it from this angle, but the American flag beyond center field is blowing out. It is moved a lot more strongly than it tonight than it has currently, but that will. You get something up in the air, it's going to be chaos. Ball one. Juanet hoping to make that ground rule double be a moot point, with Taveras still at second and now 2 down. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Taveras dancing back and forth on the second. Trying to audition for the You Can't Touch This video. What's going on here? Is very different with the cha-cha slide, that's for sure. Yeah, it's in there for a strike, and the count is 2-2. Juanet comes set. Fouled into the screen. Remains 2-2. Eduardo Soto due up next. Paulino with the open stance. Drives this one into deep center field, but Anderson, that's out of a lot of ballparks, but not here, and the side is retired. 2.5 in the books, still 4-1 Expos.
One runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning. The Middlesex Expos 4. The Lexington Blue Sox 1. The top of the order due up for the Blue Sox, McElroy, Jimenez, and Leonard.
It's actually kind of funny that both teams, started this inning with the top of the order.
Yeah.
And
no, that's what I'm telling you, man. Like three. So you leave the 3 runners left on base, and all of a sudden they don't leave anybody, and you look, it's 4-1 at the same spot. In the
wow. Now I feel like a fool for everything I said about leaving runners on base earlier.
It just unfortunately proved your argument as we were wrong, as we were talking about it. But I was too swept up in them jumping on all the first pitches to
Yeah, but
they weren't even on the bases. They were just.
My point is, it's not a useless metric. It's just not the most reliable.
Put too much stock in it, probably.
Yeah. Again, use it you gotta really gotta use it within the context of the game.
The last thing, because it opened the door for Cloutier to get 7 back.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? And he is now. He fielded those 2 right back at him really confidently. So he's going to try and just put it anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's. But you went through 7 spots in the lineup the first time around. So.
Leading off the bottom of the third, right fielder, number 53,
McElroy, Jimenez, and Leonard due up here in the bottom of the third, the top 3 hitters in the Blue Sox order. You heard me and Chris talk about it just now. Expos and Blue Sox sending the same number of batters to the plate in the first 2 innings. But the scores couldn't be, and the outcomes couldn't be very different. The Blue Sox don't yet have a hit. 3 walks, right? 2 walks, the error, and the run score on a wild pitch. And the sac bunt, too, so. You got to cash in those situations in a playoff game, one with huge implications. And a 4-pitch walk to McElroy to begin the inning. So he's picked up his 2nd walk of the ball game. McElroy scored the Blue Sox only run so far after drawing that walk on a close 3-2 pitch. That was a close 3-0 pitch, but a 4-pitch walk to begin the inning, and let's see what Jimenez can do. Probably too early to try and lay one down here in this situation. Well, that's what he tried to do and then eventually succeeded in doing in the first. But now that you're down 3, no room for laying one down here. You can't give up outs even to get a runner in scoring position. Throw back to first, and safe is McElroy. Yeah, well, early in the he wouldn't. This would be a 4-0 ball game if he had gotten picked off at second in that first inning. 2-0. The worst thing that could happen to the Blue Sox right now is that their dugout could be silent, but they are not. They are still in it. They are still encouraging their guys, and sometimes that can be the difference. You never know. Some guys, might not necessarily be in them, but you got to be. This is a team sport, and not just the guys on the field. Be the 10th man, right? Or the 11th man, technically, with this lineup, but you know what I mean. Give me some Texas A&M love. Ball 9. 8 consecutive balls to begin the inning by Cloutier. A very different start to this inning than we saw in the bottom of the second. 4-1, bottom of the third, but now the tying run about to come to the plate in the person of Ben Leonard. No hits yet for the Blue Sox, but 4 walks and an error and the run scoring on a wild pitch for ball 4 of one of those walks. Now, Cloutier did not only pitched about 10 or so innings in the regular season. And so you talking to Rick and Ryan O'Rourke the other night after the Game 2 loss, you know, you had to imagine Cloutier was not going to be long for this game, regardless. But that is the ball 9 officially to Ben Leonard. Or not. 2-0. The Expos not happy. Or inside, maybe? Wow, okay, 2-1. That, all right. 2-1. You don't want to swing at that pitch, though. Got to make him prove he can throw one, and that is now 3-0. Within this inning, anyways. Ball 4, 3 consecutive walks to begin the inning. They are loaded for Jules.
The designated hitter, number 25, Julian Alvarez.
Alvarez, in the postseason with the Blue Sox, is a career .288 hitter with 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. And take strike 1. Two of those home runs and 6 of those RBIs came in 2021. Grounder down the third base line is a fair ball. 1 run scores. Here comes another. 3rd run being waved around third. We are tied. Bases clearing double for Julian Alvarez. The Blue Sox first hit of the ball game.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the left fielder, number 22, Dom Gabardi.
Still nobody out. Jules now representing the go-ahead run in scoring position. Here is Gabardi. Dom down the line and right. Caught in foul territory. Jules tagging for third. Strong throw is not in time. It is offline, but Rick DeAngelis puts the red light on Jules there. He gets to third with 1 down. Someone's going to be checking for rug burns. One down, go-ahead run 90 feet away for Nick. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Back to where we started. Oh, Anderson, again, not happy with that strike call. He's gotten some bad news on a couple of curveballs on the outside edge tonight. Grounder, that is a foul ball. Count remains 0-2. I mean, better chance than if we were at Maplewood, that's for sure. Ball one. I mean, Maplewood's a notoriously short backstop. He ain't scoring on a pitch straight back there. 2-2. Out of the hand, it looked like it was a hanging breaking ball, but Anderson able to see it high, and from 0-2 to 2-2. Cloutier comes set. Way outside, 3-2. With Feliciano due up next. Dan Shaw going over to the dugout, to the bullpen right now, just to see if they're ready over there. But that's a lot. Just to see who's good to go, right? That is strike 3 called, and Anderson can't believe it. 2 down. He's ready to pitch his stuff and go to first, but rung up. And now it'll be up to Sway. Earlier this season, Sway hit a home run at Townfield in Dorchester, and he said, "Why weren't you there to record?" And I told him the truth, which was, that's outside for ball one. I told him the truth, which is there's no place to plug in and set up all my stuff. And it's like, you know, how am I going to, he's like, how are you going to miss recording one of my home runs, man? You're just scared of the hood. I was like, no. It just no place to set up. I've been multiple times to try and figure it out. Yeah. But honestly, like, I don't know. Do they have generators on sale over there? 2-0 to Sway. 3-0, and again, Sway puts the red light up on Jules. Rain coming in about an hour, says my computer. Can you not? Shades of Game 3 of the 2015 Championship Series. This game has a lot of the same vibes, too. Already. And it's not like this would necessarily be the clincher either way. Sway was ready to bunt, and he pulls back for a ball. Ball 4, runners at the corners. So we've had 4 walks and a bases clearing double in this inning. Can Dylan Walsh cash in? Strike 1. Alvarez at third, Feliciano at first. Sway runs. It's a grounder that Sway hurdles. Throw on to first is in time for the out that retires the side. 3 runs on 1 hit, the first of the game for the Blue Sox. And we are back to where we started, 4-4 after 3.
Blue Sox 4, Expos 4.
Yeah, get your popcorn ready.
Playoff baseball, man.
Woo!
You gotta go with the different pitcher. Fourth, right? Or if you just think you got out of that and you're shooting a lot. Your opinion is what I'm asking on that.
I've been wrong before, but I thought Ryan wasn't going to see the 6th in Game 2. So
we still got wanted up, and that's Soto. Right. Sorry, I'm thinking of that.
I
Soto, Cloutier, Paulino.
Like, if...
So right now, the Blue Sox have 4 runs scored on 1 total hit in the game, right?
Yeah.
But they have left 5 runs.
6.
6 runs, yeah. Right, yeah.
No, 5.
Either
Bases
way.
loaded with tomato.
Not 3 innings into the game.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning, the extra hitter, number 44, Eduardo.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and there's more than one way to win a baseball game. I mean, in the end, you got to score more runs than the opponent, but you know what I mean. Top of the 4th, tied at 4. Soto to lead things off. Want it back out there, delivers strike 1. Well, let's see if the second time through the bottom 2/3 of the order, the Expos fare just as well. Oh, 1-2. It's a nice call to have, certainly if you're a pitcher, and I feel like both pitchers have been getting that about that spot. Here's a grounder, diving stop by Jimenez, and the stretch by Sway, 1 down. Check that quad, Sway. I wish. This is unfortunately not. This setup is unfortunately not nearly that sophisticated. Here's a little dribbler by Cloutier to want it on to first. A little more routine there. 2 down. It absolutely was. Who wants to throw us a little extra money so we can hire camera operators and someone who can do this while I just do this, We ain't pulling in YouTube money, that's for sure. Not nearly to the threshold. Two up, 2 down. Paulino being granted time. Again, want to get back into a groove. That's what we got to do sometimes. Into center field. Anderson makes the catch. Halfway home. Tied at 4.
4th of this game 3, all tied at 4 apiece. Charlie Walsh, Max Duchney, Jake McElroy due up for the Blue Sox.
Still Cloutier pitching.
Again, I've been wrong before.
What number? Trying to get my head straight on this roster, and there's just 3 people. It's only yeah. Come on, boy. Wait, he was warming up, wasn't he?
Luke was, yeah.
Luke was, yeah. I thought it was Jack because I know they both were.
Well, Jack went over and then started doing bands.
Okay. But Luke was the one that was actually throwing, right? Yeah.
Walkies warmed up and we also have another number 11.
And they have 3 picks. All right, this game's about to look super different in 10 minutes, I feel like.
Exactly.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Blue Sox, shortstop, number 11, Charlie Walsh.
It's a great baseball.
Doesn't everyone? Want to know to Charlie. 1-1. 4 runs on 1 hit. Cloutier's still out there, by the way, on the mound. Yeah, shockingly, like the Expos and Blue Sox know they can score runs in this sport. It's just against each other. You know, you hear about, you know, defense optional football games. How about offense optional baseball games? Like at some point, you know, it's you either say, you know, oh, it's, you know, pitchers duel every time they meet, or, you know, this is not a good pattern. I don't know. 3-2, fouled off. Remember what we said earlier? The 1-0 games played by these teams in the first 2 games of this series are the first time since 2006 that any intercity league team had played back-to-back 1-0 games in the postseason. And speaking of recurring themes, Charlie Walsh with a leadoff walk.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the catcher, number 7, Max.
And speaking of walks, here's Dush. I know, or, you know, yeah, you know, what does he do? He gets on base. Oh, but seriously, you can't. Well, he's not going to try and lay one down. He won't have to get him to second that way. It's a wild pitch. Puts Charlie in scoring position as he go-ahead running 1-0 to Dush. And, hey, make your job easier to get him over to third if you can. 1-0 is the count. Dush. 400th of the first 2 games of this series. They'll try and throw to third, and it goes into foul territory. Charlie's going to come home and score the go-ahead run, and Dush is on his way to second. Not exactly what you have in mind when trading places with the guy on second, but whatever works, the Blue Sox are back in front, 5-4. Brandon Anderson coming out to the mound, and that is probably going to be it for Ryan Cloutier, as the lineup will turn over Jake McElroy to face the new Expos pitcher. Let's get confirmation on the new noodle. Brandon. Hamlet? Thank you.
We have a pitching change to announce for Middlesex. Now pitching for the Expos, number 59, Hamlet Peralta.
So Peralta only pitched in 2 games of the regular season, but did play in 4. He pitched in 2 innings against the Blue Sox on June 3rd. Did now not allow a hit or a run, walked 1, struck out 3, and he's got tremendous velocity. Against TJO on June 11th, he took the loss in an inning and 2/3 and allowed 1 hit and 3 earned runs with 3 walks while striking out 4. On August 5th in the wild card game against the Sabres, through an inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, walked 1, and struck out 2, and hit a batter. Cloutier will remain in the lineup as a designated hitter for the Expos. And now Peralta will face McElroy as the lineup turns over for the 3rd time for the Blue Sox. A run scoring on a sacrifice, on a fielder's choice and an error. No RBI for Dush, who is now at second base. The Blue Sox back in front, 5-4. Still only 1 hit for the Blue Sox. McElroy fouls that into the screen, and he's behind 0-2. 3 2/3 innings and 7 strikeouts for Hamlet, but also a 1.362 whip, and that was in the regular season. And again, 3 earned runs in an inning and 2/3, taking the loss against TJO on June 11th. That was at a time when TJO was world beaters. Beat the Blue Sox around that time as well, 5-0. High for a ball. Five runs and still just 1 hit for the Blue Sox tonight. Peralta delivers. Sometimes just got to rely on the fastball, and McElroy knew it. Strike 3 called, 1 down.
The third baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
So here comes Jimenez. Peralta looks at second, runner goes, pitches a ball, throw down to third is in time. A 1-hop to get Dush. 2 down, and the base is empty. And it's high for a ball, 2-0. TJO, by the way, trailing Palmer in their playoff series in the Park League. 1 game to I misspoke. They are even 1 game apiece. TJO won the first game 7-6, and Palmer won the second one 5-1. The last 2 nights of would-be Park League action have been postponed, and nothing scheduled again until Monday. Jimenez draws a walk to keep the inning alive for the Blue Sox.
Number 16, Ben Leonard.
TJO finished the Park League season with the best record by 5 points over the EI Braves. Fouled off the other way for strike 1. 26-1 were TJO overall. Blue Sox and Chiefs, though, were 6-1 against Park League competition. The Expos were 5-2. Pitches a strike, throw down to second is not in time. 0-2, but that pitch looked low, so even though another runner in scoring position, Leonard at a disadvantage here. It's 2 down in the inning. 2 down or 1 down? Oh, 1 down, right? Oh yeah, Dush and then yeah, okay, yeah, I got it all wrong. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Fouled off, so Leonard will stay alive. Jules due up next. Jules the only hit tonight, a bases clearing double that tied this game last inning. Blue Sox reclaiming the lead on an error. Down and in for a ball. This game becomes even more pivotal when you look at the Expos' options for pitchers in games 4 and potentially 5. Pop up on the infield is caught for the out that retires the side. The Blue Sox again do reclaim the lead. 1 run on no hits. 1 error and 1 left. 5 runs on 1 hit so far for the Blue Sox. They are leading 5-4 after 4.
Copy that?
Do me a favor, go over and tell them that.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm an
you.
announcer. You wearing 11 tonight? What number does the coach wearing?
11.
We have a pitching change to announce for Lexington. Now pitching for the Blue Sox, number 11, Jake Zawatsky.
Five-four Blue Sox, top of the fifth. Just making sure I got my story straight.
Yep.
What part of the line? Oh, bottom third. So, that means that Wannick's in line for the W, technically, right? And
Yeah.
Zawatsky's not on the strike zone so far.
Leading off the top of the fifth for the Expos, the second baseman, number 11, Michael Oliveira.
Oliveira to lead things off here in the top of the fifth for the Expos. New noodle for the Blue Sox is Jake Zawatsky. And Oliveira fouls that one off for strike one. Zawatsky made 5 appearances on the mound in the regular season with a .225 ERA and 1 save. Did not face the Expos on the mound during the regular season. Allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 walks, and 17 Ks with 1 hit batsman. However, all 3 of those runs were against the Lexington Bulldogs on July 29th, the game we referred to earlier. On Tuesday, got the win, pitching the top of the 8th, walking 2, but no hits or runs, and striking out 2. Well, Chris alluded to Zawatsky not having the zone during warm-ups, but these look like much better pitches and still not getting the calls. And that'll be ball 4, and I'm sure Nick Anderson wants to know where that one was, watching from center field, given that he got bad news on a pitch about that spot earlier in the game. Well, Josh Bone, a 3-run home run. His first time up to give the Expos a 4-1 lead. And Josue Feliciano going over to first to have a quick word with Zawatsky. 1-0 is the count. Talk about Blue Sox pitchers needing to be able to put away batters at the bottom of the order, but you dance around too much, and hey, you can get yourself into hot water like Wannick did with Bone back in the second. Now ahead 2-0. Wow. 3-0. Sway seems to be as nonplussed by these ball calls as anyone. He's over at first base. Back-to-back walks to begin the top of the fifth for Zawatsky. Some uncharacteristic command issues for Jake. So first and second, nobody out to begin the inning. Again, you mess around with the hitters at the bottom of the order, and then the 10 hitter, in this case Rincon, has a chance to sack both runners into scoring position, and one base hit could then give the Expos the lead back. full infield conference right now. McGowan talking to everyone for the Blue Sox. And Rincon also getting some pointers here. One of the most obvious sacrifice situations in the history of the sport. Or is it? Conventional thought, yes. What are the Blue Sox waiting for? The rotation play, maybe? Well, the corner infielders are in here. And that seems to be what's going on. It's a pop-up! And Dushny's got the basket catch, but the runner's able to get back. So, an out for the Expos, but complete disaster averted for them. And now Petroni. His dad actually told me it was Petroni. Sorry, Mr. Pieces, Chris. I mean, I mean, the Italians look out for each other, right?
Exactly. Right, I was calling him a Spanish guy. Yeah, exactly.
0-1. 0-1 to Petroni. High for ball one. Who are you, Dom Toretto? Two and one to Petroni. Walsh was crashing towards first. That pitch was being delivered. You could tell the rotation play or something of that to that persuasion was on for the Blue Sox. They don't get a huge play, but they did get the first on the pop-up. But now it's 3-1 to Petroni. Heavy hitters coming up for the Expos. It'll be fly ball down the right field line, but it'll land foul for strike two. The wind blowing out and kind of towards left field that hung a little towards the line a lot longer than it otherwise would have. But in the end, harmless drop there as far as the Blue Sox are concerned. And it is 3-2. 3-2 is the count to Petroni. Grounder to the left side and through for a base hit. Runner being waved around third. Here's the play at the plate. Not in time. This game is tied. Throw was on target, but not enough behind it, and we are once again back to where we started.
The center fielder, number 1, Middlesex Expos.
Rick DeAngelis coming out to the mound. That's going to be it for Zawatsky. Only a third of an inning has allowed 1 run on 1 hit, 2 walks, responsible for the 2 runners on base, takes the possible win away from Chris Wannett, and a pitching change forthcoming for the Blue Sox. Again, the heavy hitters coming up next for the Expos, Taveras, and then Batista, and then Leon Paulino. I believe that's Yemmer Pineda coming out for the Blue Sox.
We have a pitching change to announce for Lexington. Now pitching for the Blue Sox, wearing number 47, Yemmer Pineda.
So Pineda, another hard thrower for the Blue Sox, will take the mound. And we'll try to get out of this one with the game still tied. Oh, absolutely. And sometimes the fastball is just too sweet. Pineda, in the regular season, 1-1 with a 2.63 ERA in 13 1/3 innings, allowed 11 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 12, struck out 13, hit 4 batters, and threw 4 wild pitches. He hasn't pitched since July 11th after making 4 appearances in the span of 24 days, the first 24 days of the season for the Blue Sox. He got his first win of the season in his last appearance on July 11th against the EI Braves. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 2 Ks, and 1 hit batsman. Made his debut on June 3rd against these Expos, an inning of work, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. So a 2.63 ERA, but a 1.725 whip will have you on the edge of your seat right now. I think regardless of which team you root for here. This is a pivotal juncture in this entire game is a pivotal juncture, and it just seems like every inning it's you get into these high leverage situations. Let's see if Pineda can keep this game level, or if the Expos are going to reclaim the lead. Taveras, first batter to face him, downstairs for ball 1. Two and 0. I do feel like the strike zone might not be doing. I don't think the strike zone did any favors for Zawadzki, though. Some of those pitches look good, but.
It was big for the starters, it felt like. And you mentioned that, it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's back to probably where it should be.
2-1 now. Take sign was there clearly for Taveras. See what happens on 2-1. Swing and a miss. Oh, that had some dart away from Taveras at the very end there. 2-2. Two ball would be the biggest thing in the world right now for the Blue Sox. Even if you get Taveras, Batista's due up next. Grounder goes back to the pitcher who bobbles it, fires on to first, in time to get him. Well, they did get the out, but the other runners move up. Taveras is the fastest guy, is the fastest starter for the Expos. They have Chaya on their roster. George Chaya, who is a speedster, but usually is used a pinch runner. Doesn't start very often, but just trying to figure out, are they going to put? They're not going to put Batista on. They're going to put it. They're going to pitch to him. And I mean, righty against righty. I think like as good as Batista is, you want to have this rather than face a lefty power hitter and pulling with the bases loaded. All right, here we go. Batista against Pineda. 2 runners in scoring position in a 5-5 ball game in the top of the 5th. And 2 down. Pineda delivers. Swung on and fouled off for strike 1. My God. I don't think the Woods were necessarily expecting this, considering how the other games have gone between these teams this season. 0-1 to Batista. Strike 2. That's baseball, baby. Phrase you should just be allowed to say sometimes as a baseball broadcaster. 0-2. John Boyce, too. Rest in peace. Teddy Juba earned his 173 Miller Lights after his 3-hit performance last night. However many it was. Strike 3 called and the inning is over. The Expos pull even but leave the go-ahead run and an insurance run in scoring position, and we go to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 5.
What a game. Living up to the bill. Who is batting for us? Jules or Duffy?
Jules.
Okay.
We'll have to get Alvarez up to the plate last inning, that's for sure.
I mean, the double he hit, he turned on it. So this velo, I mean, center field's so big, but you got one fan out behind the fence and right. Poke it that way.
500 feet, though.
Yeah. Even he can get to third.
Where's Dastan when you need him? There's a deep cut for you.
Dude, it feels calmer when you have Jules and Sway in the lineup. You know what I mean?
Alvarez, Gabardi, and Anderson due up in the bottom of the 5th in a 5-5 ball game. Best of 5 series tied at 1. Alvarez takes down and away for ball 1. His 3-run double in the 3rd is the only hit tonight for the Blue Sox. 2-0. These teams could not have gotten their respective runs in much different fashion from each other. That's a strike, 2-1. I know, right? Three and one. Oh my goodness. You might get something over the center field fence if you, especially against the guys who are in the game right now, Pineda and Peralta. Yep. The humidity's high though. Ball 4. Well, more things change, the more things stay the same. Alvarez with a leadoff walk. I feel like if we were in the 6th or the 7th inning, we'd see a pinch runner right now for Alvarez, but it's only in the 5th. You need him in the lineup in case he bats again. So here's Gabardi. He's going to square. Goes behind his head, and Alvarez is up to second. That nearly clipped him too. So forget the sack. You nearly had first and second there, but his ball 1. Do you do it again? Corner infielders in. He does square. There it is, and it is a foul ball. 1-1. Oh man, that would have just maybe, and also like just the way first baseman came in, and then the way that the ball carried over. If that somehow got over the bag fair, like. 2-1. Well, they want an appeal, and I don't think they're gonna get it. No, well, The appeal is made and no offer, so Gabardi ahead 2-1. Corner infielder still in. First baseman nearly on top of the bag at this point. Pulls back for ball 3. Do you square again, or I don't know what you? Game 4, Sunday at 6:45 is the scheduled first pitch. Back-to-back walks to begin the inning. That's why the outcome of this game is so important, because you have to figure that it's going to be Cespedes going for the Expos on Sunday in Game 4. And if this series goes to Game 5, Shaw for the Expos in Game 5. Yeah, I was talking about the Jared Frenny 2015 thing, but came in on, 2 days rest with in Game 3 of the 2015 Championship Series, that marathon that had every twist and turn imaginable inside a baseball game and outside. And eventually the Blue Sox won on a squeeze play on a suicide squeeze bunt by the man on deck right now, Josue Feliciano. And speaking of bunting, Anderson has been able to pull back in time to see himself go ahead 2-0 in the count. In that game, yeah. So, in half as much time, too. So, we're just talking about Game 3 of the 2015 Championship Series. The Blue Sox, Gabardi just drew the 11th walk of the game, which ties a postseason record for the Blue Sox since 2006. Oh, my goodness, it is 3-0. And that record was set in that marathon, that epic game. But that was 9 innings. We aren't even in. We're through. We've only completed 4 so far. We're in the top of the 5th, and 4.5. It's just, there's a strike. 3-1. The Blue Sox are halfway through even that many innings and have already matched that record. Swing and a miss. Starting to sprinkle a bit more here. Cue the natural theme? I don't know. Let's see what Peralta's got on a 3-2. Oh my goodness, Anderson granted time. Oh boy, and especially on turf, you don't want to screw up your knee if you're Peralta. This is going to be a revenge fastball through Rincone's mid, isn't it? Outside, there's the record. 12 walks. And here comes the Expos coach to have a conference, and no, don't. But I mean, suicide squeeze is one thing, and Sway loves bunting just about as much as anything or anyone, but we're only in the bottom of the 5th. No outs. You're not going to win the game right now. But a win for the Blue Sox here, does change a number of dynamics, as that's fouled into the screen for strike 1. With Game 4 and likely Cespedes looming for the Expos to start that game. You don't want to be facing him down 2-1. Of course, the Blue Sox would have liked to have this maybe be on the precipice of a sweep, but that's baseball for you. Fouled off, and it'll be 0-2. So 3 consecutive walks to begin the inning Blue Sox now up to 12 walks, a team playoff record since 2006. 0-2 to Sway. Curveball, ball one. Wow. The entire Expos infield cannot believe it. And Peralta is down on his knees. That was the most ridiculous curveball I have ever seen. And he didn't get the call. Oh, my God. Holy mother of God. Fouled off. Bruh. Like, that was Ephus pitch territory. I think Sway would have. Well, he tried it again. Didn't get it. Just didn't get on top of it. It's a ball, 2-2. Oh, my God. I'm still reeling from that. Grounder into center field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes another. Here comes the throw to the plate. 7-5.
The second baseman, number 4, Dylan Walsh.
Just the second hit of the night for the Blue Sox, and Sway given a reprieve on just an extraterrestrial curveball. That's outside for ball 1. 1-0 to Dylan Walsh. 7-5 is our score. Sway with a shot back up the box. Now Dylan's trying to square and takes ball 2, 2-0. Getting a little assist from the mound, too, to shoot it into up the ramp into center field.
So separate from the curveball, which Peralta has every right to be upset about,
Yeah.
he's really letting this strike zone get to him.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it like all over his body.
Here's a bunt, and it is caught, but the runner's able to get back. 1 down. P5 will squelch out the sacrifice attempt. So Dylan is retired, and now here's Charlie. These little things can change so much over the course of a ball game. Both runners going, and the throw down to second. They've got Sway in a hot box, and he, oh my goodness, no, he's safe. I mean, I saw the short hop, but like, basically to allow Dom to come home, but instead everyone's safe. There's a strike. Boy, if you're the Expos, you cannot let this inning and this game unravel. You have the day off tomorrow anyways, but you have the day off and you got one of your aces going, day off tomorrow and one of your aces going Sunday, but got to keep a cool head. 2-1 to Charlie. There's the fastball, 2-2. I said Gabardi. I meant it. That is in fact Anderson there. High for ball 3, and yeah, Anderson's got the wheels. We know that. 11 of 13 on steals in the regular season. Infield is in here with Dushny due up next. Into left center field and down for a base hit. Nick can walk home. Here comes Sway. double for Charlie. It looks like the Blue Sox have a new celebration. Doggy paddle. 9-5. Only that much?
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the catcher, number 7, Max Dushne.
And I am Marie of Romania. No way Sway is only 3 years older than me, man. Look. What if he is? Then what do you say? Matt Karras is a year younger than me. That already threw me for a loop. 0-1 is the count to Dush after fouling that last one off. Look, I'm sure we've got a better grasp on it than Bono. 1, 2, 3, 14, right? Everyone hates Bono for the album no iPhone user asked for. That goes the backstop. And to third on the play goes Charlie. 9-5 our score. Still only 1 out in the inning. Only 3 hits leading to these 9 runs for the Blue Sox, too. Two and 1 is the count. A double by Alvarez that tied the game in the third. And Sway with the single, and Charlie with a double. 2 and 2.
All 3 base hits that you've had so far as the Blue Sox have led to 7 combined RBI.
Yeah, I know, right?
Recipe for success.
That bounces to the plate. Here comes Charlie to score standing up. Full count and is now 10-5. Boy, where's this offense between these two teams the rest of the year, huh? The Blue Sox will. Well, the Expos counterpunch down to their final 6 outs, though. Fouled off. I mean, he was just catching Pineda's fastballs, though. I'm built different, incorrectly. 3-2. Inside for ball 4, and the carousel continues for the Blue Sox. Was that walk number 13, I believe. Again, the franchise record since 2006 for walks in a playoff game was 11, and that was set in that 9-inning epic between the Chiefs and the Blue Sox in Game 3 of the 2015 Championship Series. This is now 13 walks in 4 1/3. And Peralta, his night is done. The Blue Sox have already scored 5 this inning. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
We have a pitching change to announce for Middlesex. Now pitching for the Expos, number 21, Nick Hart.
So the right-hander Nick Hart will take over for the Expos. He pitched in only 2 games in the regular season, but played in 3. Yep, only 1 out in the inning. Oh, boy. Hart hasn't pitched for the Expos since July 10th and has only pitched an inning in each of his 2 appearances this season, allowing 1 hit and no runs with 3 walks and 2 Ks. Pitched a scoreless, hitless inning against the Lexington Bulldogs on June 6th, 2 walks and a K, and allowed one hit but no runs in 1 inning against the East Boston Knights on July 10th with 1 walk and 1 K. This is his first appearance of this postseason, and he will face the top of the order for the Blue Sox with Jake McElroy, his first assignment.
Nick Hart on the mound and now batting the right fielder, number 53, Jake McElroy.
One on, 1 out, 5 runs home in this bottom of the 5th. Blue Sox leading 10-5, and that is down and in for ball 1 to Jake. Talk about all these parallels between this game and Game 3 of the 2015 Championship Series. That's high ball 2. 2-0. But a Blue Sox win tonight doesn't ensure anything. Again, keep mentioning it because it's worth mentioning that the Expos will likely run Cespedes on Sunday, and if they get it to Game 5 on Monday, Dan Shaw for the 2nd time. Oh, that was a late strike call, but it is 3-1. Fly ball into right, and a late break, but right, coming in to make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the 3rd baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
Cespedes was not untouchable in the regular season, but did make 10 starts. Or made 10 for 6-1 with a 1.81 ERA. Average a strikeout and a half per inning, but also with a whip almost at 1.3. So again, he was very good, but it was really towards the end of the season when he really turned it on with 4 consecutive complete games and 2 no-hitters in that span. Here's a slow grounder to 3rd, fired on to 1st in time for the out. The side is retired, but the Blue Sox have been looking for that big inning through these first 3 games. They finally have it with 5 runs on 2 hits. And they leave 1. We are through 5, 10-5 Blue Sox.
What's that?
Felt like 6 outs that
Yeah.
I mean, certainly on the curveball.
14. Now 14. The record was 11. 3 hits, 14 walks, 10 runs. And on the 3 hits, alone, 7 RBI. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Costello and left. Let them know
In
that.
for Gabardi.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
I got you. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me announce it.
Yep.
We have a defensive substitution for Lexington. Into the game in left field, number 9, Jeff Costello.
I got that for you.
25, 44, and 8.
Nada, porque esos prospectos lo hay. No tiene información. Lo que vienen trayendo a la sociedad son personas y ya se sabe. La mano de que
Leading off the top of the 6th inning, Expos left fielder, number 25, Leon Paulino.
Paulino to lead things off for the Expos, and Pineda back out there for the Blue Sox with one defensive change. Jeff Costello now in left field, replacing Dom Gabardi. Pineda with the full windup and the pitch, and that is in there for a strike. 0-1. Blue Sox 6 defensive outs away from a 2-1 lead in this series, but the day off tomorrow, Sunday, it will very likely be Luis Cespedes to try and force Game 5 Monday night. First pitch on Sunday, scheduled for 6:45 p.m. 1-1 is the count to Paulino, with Soto due up next. And the only defensive change here is Costello in left for Gabardi. Blue Sox got out to a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first without the aid of a hit, as Paulino hits a towering fly ball into right field. Some miscommunication at the end, but it's eventually caught by McElroy, and Walsh went a mile out there to try and haul it in, but it felt like it should be the right fielder's ball all the way, given how deep that traveled. But Paulino's retired, and here is Soto. Blue Sox led 1-0 after 3 walks and 2 walks, error, and a run scoring, a wild pitch. No hits in that inning. The Expos turn that game around. Yeah, even if you're behind the fence, you got to watch out. 1-0. Hot foot. I mean, it's quite. I mean, that's a whole new version of hot foot, you know. Expos turned around after the first 2 were retired in the top of the second. 4 consecutive hits, punctuated by Bone with a 3-run piece to left field, taking advantage of that short porch out there to make it 4-1. The Blue Sox eventually swung the game back in their favor with 4 runs on just 1 hit, a bases-clearing double, 3-run double by Julian Alvarez. Expos pulled even, but then Pineda got out of Dodge, and then 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th on just 2 hits. Go figure, 10 runs on 3 hits and a franchise record 14 walks. But this game's not over yet, and Soto's going to draw a walk. Cloutier, who started this game on the mound and then gave way to Hamlet Peralta, stays in the game as the DH with a runner at first and 1 down. Pineda delivers, and that is in there for a strike, 0-1. And even though the Blue Sox had loaded the base with nobody out against Peralta last inning, the pivotal play was not anything that scored a run for the Blue Sox. It was an absolute thunder bastard of a curveball by Peralta. Felt like he should have gotten strike 3 on that one. He did not, and the floodgates opened from there. It's YouTube, I can say that. What other word is there for it, though? Video games are not for children. Neither is baseball. Wu-Tang, however. I don't have the time to do math right now, man. I mean, that's one of the most efficient ways to grief in MLB The Show, that's for sure. But Pineda's starting to lose a little bit, although there has been action in the bullpen. But the Blue Sox already on their 3rd pitcher of the night in Pineda after Wannett went 4, and then Zawatsky only got through a 1/3 of an inning before giving way to Pineda. Beauchene and Deschanel are also available tonight. That's fouled off. 2 strikes now. 2-2 or 3-2 on Cloutier. 3? Yeah. So a full count. 5-run oh, it is 2-2? Oh, it is 2-2. I'm sorry. Fouled off. Remains 2-2. Liner. Cohen nicked by Walsh. He'll flip to short for 1. On to first. It won't get the double play at that point. Oh, my goodness. It nicked off of Dylan Walsh's glove nearly with the play of the day. Was able to get the lead runner anyways, 2 down. I mean, it was best case scenario made for the Blue Sox. For the Expos, you want to have first and second or runners at the corners right now. Alas, is now runner at first, 2 down. For Jose Paulino, who grounds this one foul over towards Brandon Anderson in the third base coach's box for strike 1. Is that Brandon? No, that's not Brandon. What am I talking about? Brandon's over here. I don't know. These guys have very similar 5 o'clock shadows. It's, yeah, I didn't see the glasses initially. That was the issue. Yeah. Brandon also wears his cap a little lower, so that's kind of throws it off. Anyways, 0-2 to Jose here. Up and away for ball 1, the Blue Sox dugout and infield, especially Sway looking for that call. That did look up and away, so we'll keep it going at 1-2. Popped up behind us and out of play. It better be out of play if it's behind us. I'm not taking a charge. One, 2. Down and away. 2-2. Oliveira due up next. 2-2. Grounder, foul. Strike 3 called. Inning over. 10-5 Blue Sox after 5.5.
Of the 6th inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Lexington Blue Sox 10, the Middlesex Expos 5. Ben Leonard, Julian Alvarez, Jeff Costello, due up for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 6th.
We got a warning. This is dangerous right now. JC yelling across to Paulino at first. And our dugout got a warning at the end of this half inning, so kind of playing with fire right now.
For something that Giancarlo said?
He's
clearly upset about something.
A lot of rain coming in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, we're great, I feel like.
I mean,
got a lot
this drama, you know.
Yeah. Wait, how's your translation going? Can you tell what the... Okay. No idea.
At this
Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning, extra hitter, number 16, Ben Leonard.
This is a tough game in double digits in the playoffs.
Outside corner for strike 1 to Ben Leonard. The Lexington Blue Sox dugout just got a warning after that top half, and then there was quite a bit of chatter, and not exactly just playful banter, it seems, between Giancarlo Ramirez and Jose Paulino. It was all in Spanish, and I haven't gotten that far in Duolingo for, expletives and such, but it was clearly nothing exactly wholesome or, playful banter. Here's a flare into center field, and that will be run down by Taveras for out number 1. But I think it would be safe to say that Giancarlo is not going to be pitching. He hasn't been tossed or anything, but I don't think we want to. I think the Blue Sox would want to try and. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. Well, here's Julian Alvarez, who has really been the hero tonight for the Blue Sox. And you want your veterans to do that. And you also need your veterans in situations like that where emotions can potentially run high. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2 to Jules. Some more heavy rain apparently on the way in about 10 minutes. And hopefully we can finish this game before then. Count is 1-2. It's I don't know what the policy is for, completing suspended games in the postseason. Obviously, in the championship series, at the time that the Chiefs were leading that game 3 that we keep referring back to, as that's a full count, 3-2. Keep referring back to, they were leading. The Chiefs were leading. The Blue Sox were the home team, so the Blue Sox still had to complete a bottom half. And at that point, that's outside corner for strike 3 call, but Alvarez probably not happy with the call, but I think you got to let it go at this point. And here's Costello getting his first cuts of the ball game. But at that point, the Blue Sox still have to complete a half inning. At that point, if you're going to resume the game, you might as well finish it. And that's what added to the intrigue of the whole situation. It's 0-1 to Jeff. And, probably not the greatest circumstance to be getting your first at bat. Probably not the best judge of, where Costello is offensively right now. But he's going to ground out to second, and that will do it for the bottom of the 6th. Let's see if we can finish this thing up, and we'll see if the Blue Sox can take a 2-1 series lead. Closing time for the Blue Sox, up 10-5. So I'm gonna put on the ambient right now, and I'm actually gonna start packing up what I know that I can.
Yes, sir.
Jack.
Jack G.
Jack.
Yep.
Beauchene.
Yeah, Beauchene on the mound. Yep.
Copy that.
Yep.
We have a pitching change to announce for Lexington. Now pitching for the Blue Sox, number 52, Jack Beauchene.
So this would be Pineda's win, right? Or would it really be Zawatsky coming in and letting the one run come to tie it up? No, it would have to be Pineda because it was 5-5 and then we scored the 5 points.
Yeah, it would be Pineda's win.
Welcome back to the team. Okay, 8, 9, and 10, so that's huge.
Yeah, but again,
Trying to race the rain.
yeah, but I've made the point a million times in the last 2 weeks about needing to be able to take care of the bottom of the order hitters and get clean innings and everything, but. Anyways. Anything else I don't need right now?
Leading off the top of the 7th for the Expos, second baseman, number 11, Michael Oliveira.
Jack Beauchene. Oops. Stupid and
Stereo again. Jack Beauchene will get the nod here for the top of the 7th to try and close this one out. Not a safe situation, of course, but see if he can give the Blue Sox a 2-1 lead in this best-of-5 semifinals. 8, 9, and 10, the Expos order due up. Not your average 8, 9, 10 hitters, though, of course. Help! 2-0. Play and beat the clock. Come on. 2-0 the count to Oliveira against Beauchene. 3-0. I would have to imagine, yeah. We really need to find a way to do stat head for the ICL. 3-1 is the count to Oliveira. Beauchene in the regular season pitched in 3 games and was 2-0 and did not allow a run in 3 innings or a hit or a walk while striking out 5. Oof. Painful ricochet there for 9 minutes. Yeah. Oh, the real rain. Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. All right. Well, Oliveira, man, fouled off them and then ricocheted to the pit. Like, one bounce. That's a lot. That's for sure. All right. Well, Oliveira seems as though he'll be good to finish the at-bat at the very least. Speaking of which, 1 down. Right back to the pitcher, a little more traditionally that time. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Bone. 3-run home run for Bone in that 4-run top of the 2nd. And that was only the start of this roller coaster of a game. The Blue Sox are 2 outs away from winning and getting a 2-1 series lead. But remember, day off tomorrow, Sunday, 6:45 p.m. first pitch. And it's very likely going to be co-ace of the Expos, Luis Cespedes, getting the mound to try and keep the Expos season alive. 1-1 is the count to Bone, who takes low. Ball 2. 2-1. Blue Sox, I mean, they certainly could run Draper out there. Probably too short, to have O'Rourke, I think, as an option. 2-2. But the seven innings from Draper, I think it was the first time the Blue Sox pitcher gone 7 innings all season. Strike 3 called, 2 up, 2 down. Game ain't over yet, man. It'll be Rincon to try and keep this game alive. Cespedes only pitched an inning against the Blue Sox in that 9-inning scoreless tie. Allowed 1 hit but no runs, 2 walks, and 1 K. But he's a guy who got better as the season progressed. That is for sure. Fouled off 0-1. Won his last 4 starts, all complete games, against the Boston A's, the Stoneham Sabres, the Boston Padres, and the Brighton Braves. Only had 1 win against an ICL opponent, though, this season. Here's a grounder to second. Walsh has it. On to first. The Blue Sox have a 2-1 lead in the Intercity League semifinals. Again, the Blue Sox can expect Luis Cespedes on Sunday night, 6:45 first pitch. Cespedes went 4 innings that win against the Sabres. Had 3 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of which were earned, walked 5, struck out 10. But the Blue Sox, with a team record 14 walks and only 3 hits, leading to their 10 runs, this 10-5 win over the Middlesex Expos. Win goes to Yemer Pineda. Loss goes to Hamlet Peralta. And the Blue Sox lead this best-of-5 semifinals 2-1. Game 4, Sunday night, 6:45 p.m. first pitch. Back here at Minuteman. Game 5, if necessary, Monday, weather permitting, as usual. Thanks for watching this presentation of Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow and support the Blue Sox and the Intercity League all season long. On the Burb, the Book, and the Gram, and IntercityLeagueBaseball.com, and I'm watching John Carlos Ramirez play a game of grab ass right now with Jose Paul. I'm just. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Good night, everybody. Baseball's not for children. How do you go for like let bygones be bygones? I guess. I guess.
I'm sure that's what they would say.
It's a Dominican thing.
I've heard that quote said to me at this ballpark before.
I'm going home, gonna sit in a hot shower and open a couple of aims. I don't want to be on this planet anymore. 10-5, Blue Sox win. They have a 2-1 lead in the semifinals. I am so tired. Love you, Katrina. Party hard.